we're going to talk about Oscar De La Hoya. And we talked a little bit about quarantine crazy in our last episode, and how being in quarantine has got people just talking more. I think they're just talking more. Or maybe they're not talking more. Maybe it's that the media, which obviously we're part of, are kind of accentuating everything because there's no actual in-ring action. But at any rate, Oscar De La Hoya recently appeared on the CBS podcast with Brian Campbell. And he made some comments talking about a potential fight with Conor McGregor. And I'm going to, go over exactly what he said here. Oscar says 2 rounds. He's talking about what would happen if he fought Conor McGregor. He said 2 rounds. Come on, brother. 2 rounds. That's all it's going to take. Because one thing about me, I went for the kill always. And look, Conor McGregor, I love him in the octagon. I respect him. I watch him all the time. But the boxing ring is in a whole different story. It's a whole different story. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond to that in championship rounds. But while I'm almost embarrassed to admit that I would actually like to see what that would look like, I'm embarrassed. I am a little bit embarrassed to say, because it's more of a farce than Mayweather McGregor, which I also consider to be a farce. But I also was somewhat interested in watching, and I did.
And you gave me a hard time for what we talked about, which we're not going to talk about here, but you gave me a hard time before we went live, what I was talking about to you. But
yes,
yet this intrigues you.
Yes, it's intrigues me, and I don't know why.
Right.
I don't know why it does.
I'll respond to the championship round.
I don't know why it intrigues me, but for some reason, I want to see if Oscar you know what it would tell me? You know why I want to see it? Because it would truly tell me how significant the gap is between where McGregor is as a boxer and the overall the profession, somebody who does this, who has done this, or who did this at a high level. Obviously, we know De La Hoya hasn't fought for I don't know how long, and he's obviously not in anywhere near the physical condition that he was when he fought. But if he can say, I've been training secretly since 2017 to try to stay in shape, and climb in the ring and still outclass McGregor, that to me says something significant about we should be able to stop all of the conversations moving forward about a mixed martial artist stepping in the ring with a boxer of any level, fighting under boxing rules and having any shot at being competitive. Maybe I just answered my own question. I don't know, but I still can't wait to hear what you say.
I get to jump in here, right? About Oscar.
Yes.
I like Oscar personally.
Mm-hmm.
My business dealings with Oscar, I've known him a long time. My business dealings with Golden Boy have been positive. Mm-hmm. Regardless of, what other people's look, everyone in boxing has had good and bad experiences with everybody. Okay. But all in all, they do what they say they're going to do. And that's important to me. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm laying some groundwork here. Mm-hmm. But there are times when Oscar does say things which I find to be a little bit out there. Mm-hmm. And when Oscar De La Hoya was fighting, he was the best. In his prime, he was the best. Mm. Wasn't he pound for pound best during his prime? He was
definitely in the conversation. Obviously that's a title that is arguable and not.
But I believe at times
he was in the conversation.
Well, he had a long career, but I'm saying in the sweet spot of his prime. I think at times he was him and Roy and
him and Shane,
him and Roy.
What hurt Oscar in that conversation, which is not even really relevant to what we're talking about here, is mm-hmm. the painful and I also think unwarranted majority decision loss to Felix Trinidad.
Okay, but look, what I'm saying is this: mm-hmm. those days are long gone.
Oh, absolutely.
How old is Conor McGregor?
Conor is 31 or 32, I think.
Is he that young? My God, he looks a lot older.
Yeah, he does. He's not in his mid-30s. He's 31. 31. He'll be 32
31
in
years
July.
old. Oscar must be my age. Must be 48. Must be 48. I'm not joking. He must be. What are you laughing at?
You sounded like somebody's dad when you said that.
He must be 48.
He is 47. He just turned 47 on February 4th.
Right. Okay. So my point being, I don't care. Yes, Oscar is a better boxer, more technically sound, et cetera, but the 16-year age gap and inactivity and wear and tear of life, I don't even know why he would say it, because he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the money. You know, from what I understand, Oscar's done very well.
So you're like standing off on the side while he's doing this interview, and you go, Oscar, why would you say that?
But I don't even. I would understand if Oscar was a destitute guy, but he's not. From what I understand, he's made really good investments. He owns a lot of property, both commercial and personal. You know, like I don't understand. His company is doing well. They have arguably the biggest name in the sport. So, you know, it's not like he needs a few extra bucks to fight Conor McGregor, nor is it even reasonable from an age standpoint. None of it.
I just see.
I don't even know where to. I don't even know where to.
Absolutely stupid, but for whatever reason, I know I'd watch it, and I know I'd want to see. I'd want to see if 47-year-old Oscar De La Hoya.
You know what? You're making an argument that, and I hear what you're saying, because you just would love. Why don't they just have a sparring session? And if that sparring session is competitive, then we can have an answer. Why would anyone need to build a fight around it?
Can't have the same cameraman that was there for the Malignaggi McGregor camp, because we know it'll be cut up.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, is this just Oscar and Dana's ongoing?
Well, he was actually pretty complimentary of Dana recently, which is one of the first times I've heard him say something nice about Dana in a long time. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just.
Could we all agree in the comment section?
No.
That we wouldn't want to see this fight? Like, can we all agree that Oscar is not going to handle Conor McGregor in 2 rounds?
Well, okay. Oh, so let me ask you this: he's not going to handle him in 2 rounds. Do you think he beats him?
In what? In boxing?
He said in what?
I mean, are we doing like 3-minute rounds?
In a potato sack race. In a relay.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God. Oh no. Yes, in boxing. What do you think I'm talking about?
How many rounds?
In NBA 2K.
How many rounds? Are you actually talking to me about a 10-round boxing match?
Yeah, a 10-round boxing match. Is that how you're gonna do it? Is that why you give me the constipated look? You know who you look like when you do that? When you just did that face, you look like the Quaker Oats man.
If Oscar De La Hoya at 31 years old fought Conor McGregor, and maybe this is what Oscar means, the 31-year-old Oscar De La Hoya against the 31-year-old Conor McGregor, Conor McGregor doesn't make it out of the first or second round.
No, that's not what he meant. He meant like Saturday. He meant Saturday. You bring your gloves, you bring your shoes, and I beat the brakes off you in 6 minutes or less. That's what he meant.
Okay.
Hey, I'm here for it.
Okay.
As the kids would say, you love to see it.
It's like Roy fighting that guy in Russia. It just was unnecessary.
No, it's not, because you know why? Because it's that guy in Russia. You don't even know his name. This is Conor McGregor, so which makes it more interesting. If Oscar De La Hoya was just talking about fighting some guy in Russia, then I wouldn't care. Well, I might a little bit, but I probably wouldn't care the same way. But
why are we having this conversation?
Because Oscar said it, man.
It's just like there's a point where just like in my head, like why are we talking about that?
Because Oscar said it.
Okay.
I showed you what he said.
I know. Yes, it's hard for me to comment. It's hard for me to comment only because
first it was Bien Balahadia you were disrespecting. Now it's Oscar.
LOL.
LOL. Okay. All right.
Who am I disrespecting?
You just disrespected Oscar.
It is kind of silly.
Okay.
I don't think he meant it for real.
I think it was. I think if
Oscar De La Hoya is one of the greatest fighters in, so he's definitely one of
the. When has that stopped people from doing stupid stuff?
Well, anyway.
Okay.
I mean, look. I mean, you're making me think about this.
I know, and I'm looking.
But here's the thing. Mm-hmm. So, how old was George Foreman when he beat Michael Moore? 43 or 45?
45, I feel. Yeah, 45.
Was he?
Feels like 45. Let me
double. Really?
Let me double. Feels like 45. I feel like 45 is. I'm surprised you don't know because I know you and
Stop Michael it. I know. Zip it.
What? I thought you're close.
Michael was at my wedding.
Yeah, y'all were close.
Can't dance.
That's okay. Everybody
for Southpaw heavyweight.
He was 45.
Okay.
He was born in 1949.
Maybe
in Marshall, Texas.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe there is. Maybe there is something there.
Maybe it is.
Because technically,
Conor McGregor's not the boxer that Michael Moore, is or was. I mean, or was.
Yeah, but George also had that. George. All right, look, who knows? Let's just see it. Let's get Oscar in the camp. Let's just do it.
Let's get him back up.
We're gonna get. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna call Bet Online. Make them put odds up before the end of the day.
And you know what? That might get Oscar's juices flowing.
Who promotes the show? Is it a Golden Boy UFC co-promotion?
Oh my God! You just killed the whole thing there.
Just asking.
Because Dana White.
Hey, that's the next impediment to the whole thing. So there you go. That's
Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya having the
Oscar who?
Oscar De La Hoya having the.
That's not what Dana calls him.
I know it's horrible.
Don't say it.
Yeah, I won't.
It's blasphemy.
It's worse than what you've been doing to being Balahati all this show. LOL.